When the audio recordings of missing episodes of Doctor Who hit the fan scene, there was universal delight in finally being able to hear these lost classic stories. But there was something of a problem. Let's have a quick listen to some classic scenes. As you can see, or not, many of the soundtracks have large sections without dialogue and no easy way to know what's going on. This is where having access to camera scripts has come in incredibly handy, helping us to fill in gaps and get a better understanding of what is meant to be happening on screen. This leads to one question. How accurate are the camera scripts? Broadly, they give a good idea of what was shown on screen.
Well, I'm afraid I can't give you any answers here, my dear.
You mean you want to go and have a closer look, eh?
Yes, I don't see why not. After all, the readings say it's quite safe.
Safe? Well, the readings don't always tell us everything, you know.
Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you.
But as episode recoveries have shown, they're not always 100% accurate. Let's take a quick look at some examples where what was written didn't quite match up with what was on screen. The Daleks Master Plan Episode 2, Day of Armageddon. A short one to begin with. The opening scene of this episode has the Doctor discover the TARDIS has been surrounded by the Daleks. According to the camera script, there are 3 Daleks on guard. This is replicated in the narrated soundtrack,
and as he watches, 3 Daleks surround the ship,
and in later episode reconstructions. But in the rediscovered episode, we have only 2 Daleks in this scene, not quite as surrounded as hoped. The Enemy of the World, Episode 4. According to the camera script, the cliffhanger to Episode 4 was the reveal that Donald Bruce had followed the Doctor and his friends to Giles Kent's caravan, with Bruce pithily greeting the Doctor and the credits rolling over the Doctor's face. Again, the narrated soundtrack also reflected the camera script's version of the cliffhanger.
Well, perhaps it's Faria.
But suddenly Bruce is in the room, an armed guard behind him.
When the episodes were reconstructed, Bruce's line might have been missing, but they ended the episode reflecting his arrival. This episode was recovered in 2013, and we finally got to see the cliffhanger. Only to discover that the production team had changed their minds, and the identity of the newcomer was held over until the start of Episode 5. The Underwater Menace, Episode 2. Saving the best till last, as this recovered episode brings us a minor plot hole brought on by a deviation from the camera script. Just before the Doctor and Ramo arrive at Amdo's temple to discuss their suspicions about Zaroff's plan, Polly is said in the camera script to be asleep behind one of the columns hidden in shadow. Yet again, this is how it's reflected in the narrated soundtrack.
In the temple, the exhausted Polly has fallen asleep, hidden in the shadows of the idol.
And in reconstructions. But in the recovered episode, she is awake and milling about at the start of the scene. She hears a noise and hides in the shadows. When the Doctor and Ramo enter, we're left wondering why she didn't reveal herself to the Doctor. It's not as if she could leave the room or have mistaken him for anyone else. So that leaves me wondering, what else might we have been getting wrong all these years? Perhaps, if there's a new batch of episodes recovered, we might be able to see for ourselves.